Yeah, if you're going to do it you're going to need to, you can use any machine right now. You can go get an old Dell if you want. That's what I started with. Those old gray Dells, those with the little gray door in the front and everything, and the USB down below.
Yeah, the kind I
That's what
got
I
right here.
started
Yeah.
with. Yeah, that's what I started with.
That's what that's the picture that comes into my mind every time I think of a FreeNAS box is those Dell Dimensions.
That's what I started on. It had two SATA ports on it, so I said okay, and it had an IDE port. So the RAID 1 was on the SATA, and my OS was on the IDE, and that's all you really need. And that'll outperform any of the new Drobos you get now or something, because those are little microprocessors, and you're probably using a Pentium 4, 1.8 gigahertz.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
So so even with that, you're going to outperform anything you want. The only thing is why I go mini ITX, like I said, is power. Like I'm running 5 of these now in my shop. If I had 5 desktops running all the time, bigger ones, I'd know the power hit compared to what I'm doing now. So I like the mini ITX. It does what I need. You can go micro ITX, but I think it's cost prohibitive for me because I wouldn't save that much power.
Yeah.
So you can get really anything you want for a board. Get what you want. The only thing I would look at is determine RAID 1 or 5. That's what I was saying. If you want to do that, and make sure it has the SATA ports to support that. And you can get some really good deals out there now. And when you get one, make sure it has. It probably will, but make sure it has a gigabit Ethernet port. It just that way you don't have to worry about upgrading or putting a card in later, because sometimes ITX cards and cases are kind of funky getting cards in and out, and the less you have to open up these mini ITXs, because normally mini ITX boxes, that's the downside working in them. Any of you guys that work on those HP minis know what I'm talking about. It's just trying to get everything inside there. It fits, it's going, but once it's closed, you don't want to be opening it up much. So it's just go out and find one you like. And that's basically it. You can get a really good, really kind of high-end mini ITX box that would work great for a desktop, with a processor on it for $70 to $90, with just the board. That's not the memory, just the board with the processor, with the combo kits. So, and then if you want to get the 4-port ones for, you're probably looking at 130 to 160, somewhere in there, you can go higher than that. So, but I think the mini ITX is the perfect all around for this. If space was an issue and you really wanted to get like a really small, just micro, like the Drobos and the store centers, then you can go to the micro ITX and you can get those little micro ITX boxes too.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's a couple links to cases that are going to be in the notes. I got to say, more than a couple of these look very sleek in comparison to like the image I had in my mind, like Steve said, of the 10-year-old. Yeah, these honestly look pretty appealing and unassuming, like they could easily fit on somebody's shelf.
Yeah, these aren't bad. These are very cool, actually. And these house mini ITX motherboard? Yeah, I guess it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I built my front desk computer is matter of fact, one of the boxes in the links I sent you was the link with the one where I have 2 bays for the cases. That's actually the one I have at my front desk running OS for Linux with Windows running in the virtual machine.
Okay, 2 bays. I see it now.
Gotcha. And
you could throw out a couple of these links if you want to. You guys do it.
Yeah. Oh, another thing you might want to think about this too is FreeNAS supports the 10 gig E drivers for NIC cards. So I don't know if you'll find a one built on the board, but some of them have PCIe slots on them, and if speed was a big important to you, now this is these big SAN boxes and everything will have this, but you could get the 10 gig E card and put it in there because FreeNAS has the 10 gig E driver built in. So
wow.
then that's where you could really, do some fun stuff back in your hole, NAS up in the middle of the night to each other.
Sure.
So.
Now, this one that we're showing now, that is badass looking. So you're this is what you're using right now for your FreeNAS, Tracy?
Yeah. Yes, I got that on 2 FreeNAS boxes and the front desk computer. It takes a regular CD-ROM drive. Do you know how the CD-ROM drives are like 5 inches and like 6 inches long?
Yeah.
You can get the bigger ones, but the shorter ones work a little better. Just you have a little more space.
Yeah.
And if down by the power button in the bottom right, there's a bay to the left of it that opens up to where your front USB and your front speakers are.
Ah. Well, and a super quick question. A couple of these look like they're like hot swappable
Yes.
like drive
Now,
bays.
yes, the ones I have links for you with the 4 bays. Now, the one he's showing now that's the one I use when I want RAID 1. Now, you can use any case you want. Don't just do it because I get it. I get that one because it's a good case. I like it. It's quality. It's built good. It looks nice, and it's real inexpensive, for what you're getting. And then now another one you can get is like the one he's showing right now with the black cover. If you go to FreeNAS's website, that's actually the one they're selling FreeNAS boxes you can buy. That's actually the case they sell. And the 2 I have there, I'm showing is the one I have, the 4, not that one, but the other one is the one I use. And they have the front hot swappable hard drives where you pull it in and out. When you buy these, some places you can get them on sale, and one place like $40 cheaper, and you're like, let me get it. Make sure it has the hard drive trays with it, so you're not spending $10-15 for each hard drive tray after it comes. So most of them will, but just make sure that that's the one that I'm seeing in the live feed now that I have at mine.
Wow,
very cool. And the one actually looks like the drive bays even have like key locks, so you can actually be secure about it.
Yes. The one I built for customer was the same one I have, the 4-bay one for one of the customers, and he doesn't even have the key to it. He doesn't want the key to it, so I keep the key.
Fine.
You got to remember this with clients is it's especially some of them, if it's an owner operator, 1 or 2 employees, don't have to worry about it. But about some that have 5 to 10 people in there, there's always that one person that wants to play with stuff. Well, he has one of them, and he knows they'll open it up and pull one of those out to see how it works.
Right. Hey, cool.
So, yeah, he doesn't even want the key. So I have the key for him. So
nice.
Right. Very cool. Yeah. To hop to these the motherboards.
Wait, before we do that, Dor, let me just throw out some model numbers for you guys if you just want to check them out now. Because there are some guys watching live, and if you guys are listening in your car, whatever, some of the 4 bays was a CFI 8 or a CFI A7879 Mini ITX. He's got a Chenbro ES34069 tower. The 2-bay one that I think is very cool looking is the MI008 tower. So you guys can check out some of them. But like Dor said, we're gonna have them in the show notes too.
Yeah, one thing I want to make sure I throw out is that Chernobyl one. That one by default usually comes with the 120 watt. If I use that, I would spend the extra money, and because you can get a 200 watt for that one, I'd upgrade that from the get go. I wouldn't want 4 hard drives, everything running just right off the 120.
Sure.
Will it work? Yes, but I just feel a little better.
Yeah, you don't want it flaking out on you.
Yeah,
especially if you're going in a production environment of customers, it'll just, you'll be happier.
Totally. Good tip.
I'm sorry, I'm just giddy, and I'm learning some stuff, so I'll keep jumping forwards.
No. Let's do it. Motherboards.
Yeah. Well, first I had a real quick question about motherboards. You said the micro ITX. Like, what's like the length, width, the dimensions of these things? Because by the pictures they look really tight.
Here's one. Do you guys have a 15-inch monitor in front of you?
Yes.
Now, the best way I can describe it is right down the middle, draw a line vertically right down the middle, and you'd have like ballpark that's like two ITX boards sitting next to each other.
Micros, right?
Wow.
Yes.
So we got mini and
mini. I'm sorry,
oh.
mini. I'm sorry, mini. That's about the size of the mini. If you have like a 15, 16-inch laptop right down the middle, that's about this ballpark size. Now, if you want to go micro, a lot of the micros are about the size of a CD-ROM case.
What?
Yeah. So some of those micros are pretty cool.
I see. You know what? I'm still hung up on ATX. I'm thinking, as you're talking to me and saying mini and micro, I'm thinking ATX, mini ITX, and micro ITX. They're even smaller. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now you can ATX is fine too. It's I don't want people to get hung up here on, well, this is what he uses. This is what no. That's the great thing of this is use what you want to use and use what you're comfortable with. The drivers are. I have yet to throw something that's not there. You know, and one thing I will say is, you guys know I'm a huge Linux person. I mean, a huge Linux person. But if you go to a BSD online chat group or whatever you want, they will be 10 times more friendly than the Linux people, even though the Linux people, how friendly they are. BSDs are even that much more. So if you have an issue, you go to a BSD group or online or a chat room, you're not going to have an issue at all. They will take care of you. They will walk in. If you have a problem, I bet you one will even remote in and help you. So I really like the BSD community.
Wow. Nicer than BSD. Nicer than Linux. That should be their slogan.
It works. Now, here's my super quick question about this kind of motherboard. It looks like this is the processor, I don't want to say is like burnt into the board, but it looks like it's physically connected to the board. Am I right there?
Depends on which one you get. A lot of the micros, sometimes they are soldered on permanently. Almost all the minis, no. You can get them with or without processors. I usually have better luck just getting the combo kit just because dollars and cents. Right. Usually the combo kit with the processor built in is a lot of times a little more because I'm not looking at processor do anything special and fancy. What I want it to do is I want it to work, and I really don't care, is it a 2.2 or a 2.0? That's going to be, like the minimum requirements, remember, FreeNAS is Pentium.
Right.
Okay, yeah. I said it. Pentium. No number behind it. Just make sure it's Pentium.
Pentium 1.
Yeah,
right. So
speed is a non-issue. Now, if you're hitting 50 clients on this, you're going to want something a little beefy, but it for most people, it won't matter what your processor is.
Wow. I was really I knew about these motherboards, but it's like, you could easily fit this inside of a toaster.
I know, man. It makes you want to get back into hacking these things, installing.
Now, that one box I had, I built one, and the board I got is, I can find the link to it and send it to you, but it's the Ion, and the graphics is unbelievable on it. It's a built-in video card, built-in wireless. A buddy of mine liked it so much, he built one exactly the same, but put a Blu-ray player in that front bay, and that's his media machine now.
That's awesome. And probably smaller than half the Blu-ray players out there.
Yeah, and it's big time wife approval because it looks nice. So and that's what I like about the case. It looks great and it's inexpensive for what you're getting.
Right.
Because if you look, you can get that case when it goes on sale in different places. And if you look hard, you could probably get that case for $50-$70.
Sweet. Yeah, I love these little things. This is very cool.
Very cool is right.
Especially if you want to start doing some firewalls. You can get some of these minis and micros with 2 NICs built in, which is really handy, for one in and one out. And so, if I want to find one with 3, so I have the in out and DMZ zone. But a lot of those there's a price jump. So what I'm doing now, if I want that, is I just get the mini and I get the 2 built on, and I'll put a gigabit card, PCI or PCIe card in, and that card will be my DMZ.
Nice. Yeah, as I say, if you find one with 4 NICs, you could truly have a really powerful custom